Hello everybody, I'm Routstream, and I'm here with What a Horrible Year, and I'm showing you that I have truly done a no-hit challenge in this game successfully. It did take a while, I will say, because especially with the third level. The third level is really hard, and you'll see what I mean once we get to that point. But before I show you the entire run, I feel like I might as well show you a couple of instances where I did get hit. Alright, hello everybody. So, we're here, and this is the run. I finally did it after like a couple of attempts, and I guess we'll discuss some strategy and how this works. So, for this first stage, not much really happens. I mean, you only have a bunch of knife guys and gun guys. It's not that hard compared to the later stages, and also you get a lot of practice with this stage since you have to go through it to get to those other two stages. So, just to, have some behavior on how these enemies work. So for the knife guys, they're just like regular guys. They just come onto your location and just try to stab you. Nothing really special. The gun guys are interesting because they only stay around the outer edge of the area. So you can, knowing this knowledge, you can predict where they're gonna go. And they take 3 shots to kill. And if you know where they're going, then you can get some shots on them really easily and kill them very quickly. The problem is like when you start allowing them to build up and then you have like a bunch of guys shooting at you, because then it's a little hard to like find it and get into those spots where you can easily shoot enemies. Yeah, I think there's not really much else to really talk about, so I'm just gonna let this go until we get to the boss. Alright, so how you know that you're on like the final wave is when these 6 gun guys appear. Not really that tough. And here we go. Here's the first boss of the game. So just to know, I'm going to use this tech throughout the entire, whenever I have a boss fight, I'm going to use the laser. And you can actually save power-ups by just not interacting with them at all. This is very useful for the second boss, by the way. And I learned of this when I realized that power-ups don't ever despawn. Which is why I keep the bubble power-up too, because it makes it so that the rotation cycle for the power-ups is less. So there's only like 3 types of power-ups you can get, which is the shotgun, the laser, or the Gatling gun. The Gatling gun, in my opinion, is the worst power-up as it affects your movement in a really poor manner. But for this boss fight, it's not that tough. Generally, when he calls on his radio, that means that 4 knife guys are going to appear, and just shoot them like that. And usually you prioritize them first because, they're going to be a lot more harder to dodge, and then you just kind of clockwise it, just like how you saw it right there. And man, that's the first stage. The second stage is a bit more harder, and we'll describe the 2 enemy types that you see. So you see these flames. Now you don't want these flames to pile up too much, for 2 reasons. One, it will limit your movement and where you can go, which means you have less area to dodge, and also if the fire comes in contact with the military, they will turn into stronger enemy variants, which you will see quite soon. Not sure when they appear. Okay, it's those guys. They basically just people on fire. They act exactly the same as a knife guy, however they take 2 hits and they're faster, which means that they're very dangerous, and that's why you don't want to really stay around the edge of the board much. You want to stay close to the middle as possible, so that way you have as much time to react. And also, this is a good tip, make sure you pay attention to like the doors in a way. for like every single stage. There's always a cue to indicate when the enemies are incoming, and for this stage you can tell when the flames open up. It gives you a split second to at least react, so you at least have a bit of a chance and not get absolutely surprised. But you have to be cognizant of it all the time. So you can see right here, generally I prioritize the fire guys first, and then I kill the actual fires later, just because the fire enemies are much more dangerous because they keep on chasing you, while the fires just roam around endlessly. Alright, so here we go, the second boss. You can completely cheese the second boss by using the laser power up, because the laser keeps on ricocheting, and this boss has the least amount of HP out of every single boss. It will result in a quick death like this. I don't even need to discuss strategy, because that's all you really need to know. Generally, the boss is kind of just like a boss that kind of just limits your space. Anyway, let's move on to the COVID level. The COVID level is very scary because of the enemy types that you face. So, a regular Corona is actually not that bad. It's mostly the second enemy type you have to be worried about. This enemy will shoot very quickly in like a 3-bullet burst, and the shots are very fast. It's going to be hard to react to them, especially if you're close. It can be guaranteed a hit. And also, they will also spit out a COVID ball at you as well. I'm not sure. It seems like they sometimes do, sometimes don't. I'm not sure how this works, if it's like a percentage thing or if maybe particular enemies can do that or not. But really, you want to either do two things. You want to prioritize something. You want to at least prioritize killing the military guys before they get infected, or kill the things that are actually infecting it. So either the COVIDs or the infected people, because otherwise you will see that the enemies will start snowballing very heavily, especially if you get so many COVID enemies that it will just be impossible to dodge. And yeah, just keep that up and make sure you kill these guys quickly too, just so you know they don't snowball. I mean, I'm pretty sure you already know this already, but Alright, so real soon we're going to see the COVID boss, very soon, and what I'm doing right here is I'm just kiting the COVID around so that way I can get the laser power again, because it is the best in terms of dealing damage to the bosses. So what do you do for this? So you generally want to be on the opposite side of him. Generally you want to be like across from him horizontally, because that will give you the most space to really dodge him, and yeah, there you go. I got pretty lucky on that. Sometimes he moves a lot more erratically than that, and that boss can be a lot more harder, but generally you just want to be on the opposite side of him, and when he's not shooting, that's the chance to go and take the other side. So this COVID right here is a bit interesting. I don't know what he really does. I don't know. I guess it's supposed to be like something that kills you at the end, but what you can do is just endlessly kite him in a circle like this, and yeah, we'll eventually kill him. He does take a lot of hits though, but you'll get him eventually. And there you go. This took a while, but I'm very happy that I managed. And, well, I guess I don't really have much else to really say, so hopefully I'll see you another day.